Welcome to our discussion on fatherhood's unexpected silver lining. It's about a journey where a single dad discovered rich meaning and growth in every challenge.
I'm intrigued. So, what's the twist here in how fatherhood turned into this transformative experience?
It started when he faced single parenthood head on with his two young children. And rather than seeing it as a detour, it morphed into a journey filled with both trials and deep rewards.
So it's like instead of following the traditional route, he found an unexpected path in everyday parenting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he shifted his focus from the conventional idea of quality time to embracing what you might call quantity time, being there for the small moments, even when they seem mundane.
Interesting. And I guess that continuous presence wasn't common in the Western model, right?
Right, in Western culture, dads traditionally only get the evenings or weekends. But here, this approach, inspired by John Gottman's emotion coaching and even a bit of tribal wisdom, redefines it entirely.
So, how does emotion coaching actually fit into this picture?
Well, emotion coaching, as described by Gottman, is about connecting with your kids, validating their feelings, and guiding them. Sort of like an ongoing dialogue rather than a set schedule. It's a method that turns everyday
Yep.
interactions into learning experiences on managing feelings.
That sounds refreshing. I mean, many folks stick to short focused interactions. But isn't it risky to constantly be so involved?
Sure, some might say that, but it's less about being overbearing and more about being truly present. You know, it's like nurturing a garden continuously instead of watering it once a week. The
Yeah.
small, repeated moments add up over time.
I see your point. And he also drew inspiration from tribal practices, right?
Exactly. He explored the wisdom of the Aka tribe, a nomadic people in Central Africa known for their engaged and nurturing paternal approach. AKA dads spend, get this, 47% of their day within an arm's reach of
Hmm.
their infants. That's a whole other world compared to the segmented roles we see in Western culture.
Wow. Evoking that sense of deep connection really flips the script on what many think of traditional fatherhood. How did that shift his perspective?
It redefined his entire understanding of fatherhood, showing him that being more involved, more constant, not only benefits the children but also enriches the dad's own emotional life. It's like, instead of chasing external markers of success, he found fulfillment in intimate, everyday moments.
Hmm. But let me play devil's advocate. Aren't there potential downsides? Some might argue that embracing this level of emotional labor could lead to burnout or, well, put too much pressure on a single parent's shoulders.
That's a valid concern, and it definitely can be challenging. However, research and personal experience showed that the rewards outweigh the hardships, as the emotional resonance feeds back into both the dad's resilience and the child's growth.
Right.
It's transformative, even if it gets exhausting at times.
So this method also questions the typical work versus family trade-off, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Instead of viewing parenting as a side project, it became the primary role. A sacred trust, really. It challenges the idea that success is defined solely by career milestones. It's like shifting the currency of success from material achievements to emotional intelligence and connection.
I love that analogy. But isn't there a tension between the traditional almost stoic masculine ideal and this emotionally engaged model?
There is indeed. The traditional Western masculine ideal values strength and independence, often sidelining vulnerability. Yet, this journey showed that embracing vulnerability and emotional availability can lead to a richer, more profound sense of manhood. It's a reimagining of
Yeah.
masculinity that prizes tenderness and connection.
And that might just be the silver lining here. Seeing fatherhood not as a burden, but as an opportunity to redefine what it means to be a man.
Exactly. It's about reshaping the narrative. By being present, by listening intently and coaching emotions, he not only nurtured his kids' development, boosting their cognitive skills, self-esteem, and social abilities, but also experienced personal growth and a sense of existential fulfillment.
So his transformation wasn't just for the kids, it was a deep inner evolution for him as well.
Right on. And that's the beauty of it. He embraced the challenges, the exhaustion, the mistakes, but also the joys, the shared adventures, and ultimately a kind of, um, inner discovery that perhaps only comes from such an immersive
Yeah.
parenting journey.
It's fascinating how such a career detour, as some might label it, ended up being far more enriching than a conventional path.
Absolutely, it flips conventional wisdom on its head. Many of his peers pursued fast careers, tangible rewards, even material success, while he traded some of that for relational depth and authentic connection.
Now, that must have been a tough decision, especially when family or friends suggest hiring help, like a nanny, to carve out some me time.
Oh, definitely. Friends and family often couldn't grasp why he would opt to be so present, sometimes even suggesting shortcuts when he was exhausted. But the research, like Gottman's studies on engaged fathers, validated his approach.
Yep.
It isn't about shunning help altogether, but about being the primary source of that emotional guidance.
I get that. It's like, consciously choosing to invest in a deeper form of love, even if it appears counterintuitive at first glance.
Exactly. And speaking of investments, the Aka tribe's practices underscore that. Their affinity for constant nurturing engagement isn't just cultural, it actively enhances children's cognitive and emotional development. It
Right.
teaches that fatherhood is, well, much more than just providing. It's about being emotionally available and engaged.
That seems to counter the oft heard notion that fussy, hands on parenting might lead to overdependence.
Sure, some critics might say that, but the evidence actually shows the opposite. Engaged father figures foster healthy independence and better social skills in children. It's like, raising them to be emotionally intelligent rather than merely self reliant in a stoic way.
But what about the risk of emotional burnout on the part of the parent? Isn't there a danger of, losing oneself in the process?
That's a fair critique. It can be draining, no doubt. However, by the very act of engaging so deeply, the parent also discovers layers of personal growth and empathy. It turns out that the father, too, benefits from the unfiltered, everyday moments, finding strength in
Yeah.
vulnerability. Rather than being depleted, he finds a new, holistic sense of purpose.
It's almost like the more you give, the more you gain. Not in the material sense, but in personal fulfillment and relational richness.
Exactly. It's an unexpected silver lining. Instead of following a traditional success roadmap, he realized that the real reward lies in shaping, nurturing, and, in turn, being nurtured by those deep connections.
And that ultimately redefines what success really means, doesn't it?
Right. It reorients success from external achievements, like building companies or gaining fortunes, to internal growth, connection, and empathy. It challenges us to ask what kind of society we want to build for our children.
Yeah. I find that deeply inspiring. It makes you wonder if perhaps all of us could benefit from embracing some of these ideas in our own lives, beyond just the parenting realm.
Absolutely, because it's not limited to fatherhood. It's about human connection. When we embrace our vulnerabilities, our emotional truths, we create richer bonds in all facets of life.
That perspective really shifts the traditional narrative. It's a call to redefine masculinity and success for the betterment of our relationships and community.
Yes, and it asks us all, what do we truly value in our lives? Is it the accolades or the everyday moments of connection that build a legacy of love?
Yep. And it seems that this redefinition, while challenging at times, ultimately leads to more meaningful personal growth.
Exactly. It's a journey, a messy, beautiful journey of trial, joy, exhaustion, and ultimately transformation. It's like, fatherhood becomes not just a role, but a sacred trust.
I love that idea. It's a powerful reminder that our challenges can become our greatest rewards if we choose to see them through a lens of growth and connection.
Right on. It reminds us that while society might push one narrative of success, true fulfillment is found in the deep relational bonds we forge and the inner growth we experience along the way.
Yeah. This discussion has really opened up a fresh perspective on what it means to be a present, engaged parent. Challenging, yet ultimately rewarding.
Absolutely. And it's a call to embrace an untraditional yet profoundly nourishing approach to fatherhood, one that nurtures both our children and ourselves.
Right. Here's to all the dads out there, redefining the narrative with love and authenticity. Thanks for this enlightening conversation.
Thanks for joining in. May these ideas inspire us all to pursue connection, growth, and a kinder version of success in our lives.